Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this virtual open day for Masters and Doctoral Studies at UNISA. My name is Jessica Murray, and I'll be facilitating the program this evening. I am the Acting Director in the School of Transdisciplinary Research and Graduate Studies in the College of Graduate Studies, and I am joined in this session by a number of my colleagues from the College of Graduate Studies. We are all very excited to share with you various bits of information about Masters and Doctoral Studies at UNISA. And this information is really intended to assist you to navigate your pathway through the postgraduate landscape at UNISA. Now, we will be sharing a number of presentations over the course of the next hour or so. But my colleagues and I will also be engaging with questions in the chat as we go along. So we really are encouraging you to engage with us by popping your questions or your concerns or anything you'd like us to address further in the Q&A or in the chat function on this Teams meeting. And we will engage with you as we go along. So I am going to then hand over to the first presentation this evening, which will be an introductory one, where you will be hearing from our Executive Dean, Professor Tennyson Mukuchini.
Hello, welcome. This is Professor Tennyson Mukuchini. I am the Executive Dean of the College of Graduate Studies. Welcome to getting to know about us. I will, of course, walk you through some of the often asked questions about who we are, what we're here for. And as I do that, I will take my face off the screen for a while just to speak you through some of the key things about us. Once again, welcome to the College of Graduate Studies. Who are we? We are one of UNISA's colleges, and we are distinct from the others by virtue of being a service college. We serve as a leader of excellence in postgraduate studies and research, and our job is to make sure that excellence in research and all matters related to research is mainstreamed across all the colleges at UNISA. We are the hub for institutional support to all our postgraduate students and all the staff members who assist them. As a college, we make sure that we offer support to our students and academics so that they make optimal use of the open distance e-learning mode of delivery that UNISA is famed for. Of course, when we help our students, we help you from the start of your journey as a postgraduate student all the way to your graduation. And our priorities are very easily spelled out, and they straddle across two specific areas. Firstly, we provide a central hub for our honors, postgraduate diploma, masters and doctoral students within UNISA to enhance excellence in and accelerate the completion of their postgraduate qualifications. We also offer supervisory capacity development for all our supervisors that the university has. One of our main priorities is to ensure an exceptional postgraduate experience for our students by offering wide-ranging postgraduate administrative support interventions. And of course, one of the things we are known for and have been tasked with is to make sure that we optimize the university's catalytic niche areas. These niche areas are 10 areas of science that have been specifically identified by our Vice Chancellor as areas that we need to give priority to. The niche areas include marine studies, aviation and aeronautical studies, automotive sciences, energy, space study and the square kilometer array, the fourth industrial revolution and digitalization, the natural sciences, health studies, medicine, feminist, womanist, Bosadi theorizations, and of course, student support and co-curricular activities. One will wonder why these areas. The reasons are simple. Firstly, we've identified areas that have very significant potential to make quite substantial changes to society as we know it. Take, for example, health studies and medicine. Our primal objective is to ensure that we are at the cutting edge of research around health studies and medicine so we can deal with any challenges that society has to deal with. Of course, the other reason that we exist or support the catalytic niche areas is to ensure that previously overlooked subject fields finally get to be mainstreamed. So previously marginalized groups have access to this. And finally, these catalytic niche areas are historically areas that have very substantive funding that goes towards them, and we get a chance to actually make sure that we give access to our students so that they too can in turn have access to the many financial resources and grants that are available in these fields. What programs does the College of Graduate Studies offer? As I've said, our job, our primary focus is to ensure that we capacitate our students. We'll also capacitate everybody who supports them in their journey. With respect to supporting and capacitating our students, we have a wide range of short-term workshops, seminars, and lectures that we deliver. And these speak to all the challenges that students have throughout their study journey. If you are interested in something more substantive, we have a flagship program called the Accelerated Honors, Masters, and Doctoral Support Program. This is a state-of-the-art, one only in the world type of program that supports students 365 days of the year through a mixture of lectures, seminars, workshops, which you can access anytime, anywhere, and at your convenience. And of course, the program does more than just share content with you. We also avail academics, world-leading academics who offer you guidance in addition to the support you would have received from your supervisor. And then, of course, we also have a primal objective of supporting our academics. And to do that, we have another state-of-the-art flagship program called the Supervisory Capacity Development Program. This is a 4-month-long program that trains our supervisors in all the different pedagogical skills, all the skills to do with providing exceptional learner support, all the skills that ensure that they have advanced awareness of research methodologies. All those are taught to our 2,300 supervisors that the university has on their books. And of course, that program is certificated. So when you complete it, essentially those who complete it have as close to a driver's license to supervision as possible. Those are just two of our offerings that we have. Beyond that, we have a lot of other courses to do with very difficult areas that students struggle with, from statistical analysis to grant writing or even writing for publication. Now that I've marketed us so well, I know your next question is, how on earth do we find this College of Graduate Studies? Essentially, we are everywhere. And these are some of the spaces that you can find us on. You will know that we have a very, very vibrant presence on our social media. You can, of course, visit us on our Facebook groups, or we have a Twitter handle, which you can see. We have a Facebook page, and of course, we have much of our content is available on YouTube. And if you're at all interested in accessing this, take a moment to scan the QR code on the right upper hand of your screen, and that will open your access to a world of support, to a world of excellence that's provided by the College of Graduate Studies. I thank you very much for paying attention to this, and I look forward to seeing you on any one of our platforms.
My name is Jessica Murray, and I'm the Acting Director for the School of Transdisciplinary Research and Graduate Studies in the College of Graduate Studies. I'm responsible for conceptualizing, developing, and implementing a wide range of support programs, resources, and interventions, all in service of postgraduate pedagogical excellence. Postgraduate students and research are the core priority areas of my portfolio. I also serve as the College of Graduate Studies Catalytic Niche Area Optimization Champion. And in the presentation that will follow, I'll share some more information about the exciting opportunities UNISA's catalytic niche areas present to you as our postgraduate students. Okay, UNISA has 10 catalytic niche areas, and these 10 catalytic niche areas present particularly exciting opportunities for our postgraduate students. So in this presentation, I'll talk about some of the ways in which our postgraduate student community can opt into the potential of UNISA's 10 catalytic niche areas. Now, these catalytic niche areas have been identified as areas of strategic importance, and they are envisioned as research focus areas that will really constitute a core element of our institutional identity in all our activities as we do our work in service of shaping Africa's intellectual futures. Now, all the 10 these catalytic niche areas were very carefully selected for very specific scholarly and socially strategic reasons. And within these catalytic niche areas, they accommodate the space to address topics that really speak to some of the most urgent contemporary challenges facing societies and humanity as a whole. The institutional level response to these catalytic niche areas is envisaged as something that will be proudly African, with a focus on the epistemological significance of theorizing these most pressing global issues from our specific location as a higher education institution based and located in South Africa. Now, of course, most universities have niche areas, and the Department of Higher Education and Training also requires South African higher education institution to have niche areas or focus areas that become institutional strengths. So universities are really expected to excel in their selected niche areas. So these are topics also then where institutions target resources to ensure that they are at the cutting edges of these particular fields. Now, this slide shares the 10 catalytic niche areas that have been identified at UNISA to do these specific things. They are marine studies, aviation and aeronautical studies, automotive, energy, space study and square kilometer array, the fourth industrial revolution and digitalization, natural sciences and biotechnological studies, health studies and medicine, feminist, womanist, and Busadi theorizations, and finally student support and co-curricular activities. Now you will notice that these catalytic niche areas don't come with standard preset conceptualizations or definitions, and we'll speak a bit about what that means in the next couple of slides. But the core of what I want our postgraduate students to take away is that the lack of predetermined conceptualizations and definitions means that you have quite a lot of scope to align your preferred areas of research focus and your research topics with one or more of these catalytic niche areas. And I'll share some ideas related to how you can go about exploring some of those possibilities and alignments between your areas of research interest and one or more of the catalytic niche areas. Now, these catalytic niche areas also align with our institutional Africanization agenda. As postgraduate students, I think it's important that we understand who theorizes and from where we theorize, that these things matter. And the catalytic niche area interventions will unapologetically claim our place as African knowledge producers. As scholars located at a South African university, we play an important role in terms of making sure that we have a place at the table where these catalytic niche areas are being conceptualized, developed, and explored. Our place at this table will also be crucial to ensuring that the disciplinary engagements with the catalytic niche areas are rigorous and robust. Any academic field that ignores or marginalizes African scholarly voices will always already be compromised in terms of quality and potential impact. By bringing together the voices from the larger UNISA community on these catalytic niche areas, we will be able to amplify our scholarly contributions and thereby ensure that we maximize the impact on the communities of practice where these 10 catalytic niche areas feature. Now, for you as postgraduate students, it's very important to understand the core role of your contributions to the catalytic niche area conversations and to how the catalytic niche areas engagements at UNISA will develop over the course of the next couple of years. As postgraduate students, you are integral stakeholders in UNISA's research community. Our postgraduate students, we understand, are very often working at the cutting edges of their disciplines. And of course, it's very important to involve our postgraduate students in our catalytic niche area engagements to ensure the sustainability of UNISA's catalytic niche area work through things like mentoring, skills transfer, and capacity development. So your role in how the catalytic niche areas at UNISA take shape is as important as the role of our most senior research professors and our most well-known catalytic niche area scholars. So some reminders when postgraduate students and really researchers at different levels of their catalytic niche area engagements, when they start thinking about the catalytic niche areas, they're very often concerned that they will be forced into particular areas of research. So it's useful to remind ourselves that this is really not the case and that we are talking here about optimization of the catalytic niche areas, which is not the same as saying that it is now compulsory for all postgraduate research projects to be catalytic niche area projects. So what we are encouraging here is facilitating discussion and exploration of those potential points of alignment between the catalytic niche areas and the topics that you are interested in exploring in your research anyway, rather than prescribing catalytic niche area topics. We are talking here about about opening up thinking and conceptualizations rather than boxing you into predetermined catalytic niche area topics. And this is really about creative, innovative, and collaborative conversations between you as postgraduate students and your supervisors. Now, the College of Graduate Studies plays a core role in the optimization of the catalytic niche areas at UNISA. The contact person is the College of Graduate Studies Catalytic Niche Area Optimization Champion, Professor Jessica Murray. And this is an important contact person who can assist you with exploring these potential points of alignment between research topics and the catalytic niche areas, in addition to your supervisor. But please remember that your supervisor will be your first and main point of contact for all content related to your research project. So it's very important that you have these conversations about possible points of alignment with your supervisor first. But the College of Graduate Studies will be there as an additional resource and will put in place additional support mechanisms to ensure that you have the opportunities you need to explore the full potential of your engagements with one or more of the catalytic niche areas. So at the College of Graduate Studies, we follow what we call a scaffolded approach to catalytic niche area optimization. And this scaffolded approach respects discipline-specific voices from the colleges, but we also believe in the value of an institutional level response to the catalytic niche areas. So this essentially means that lots of different things are happening simultaneously related to these catalytic niche areas, and they're all important as we work towards an institutional level response to the catalytic niche areas. So discipline-specific work is happening in the academic departments and in the academic colleges. But while these things are happening, we are also at the College of Graduate Studies playing a leadership role in facilitating this institutional level response, and particularly in mobilizing multi, inter, and transdisciplinary engagements with the catalytic niche areas. Now, for those of you who are wondering how to conceptualize and define the catalytic niche areas, specifically in relation to your preferred areas of research and your research areas of interest, again, the most important thing to keep in mind here is that there are a great range of possibilities here, particularly in terms of what we refer to as expansive conceptualizations of each of the catalytic niche areas. And with those expansive conceptualizations really come multidisciplinary avenues of participation into the catalytic niche areas with possibilities for all of the colleges, for all different disciplines to contribute to how the catalytic niche areas take shape. So this essentially means that you don't need to be in a discipline that has obvious, immediately clear relevance to a catalytic niche area. So it means, for example, that you don't have to be a physicist to contribute to a catalytic niche area like space study and square kilometer array. You can be located in a literature department, in psychology and communication, in any academic discipline, and still, via expansive conceptualizations, navigate a way into a catalytic niche area to which you would like to contribute. So this is really very much about thinking outside the box in your explorations of the relevance of particular niche areas to your research topics and articulating those points of alignment. We are encouraging people to move beyond silo ways of working because, of course, if we remain in our disciplinary silos, we are not going to mobilize the full potential and richness of an institutional level response to the catalytic niche areas. So really no catalytic niche area will be the sole concern of only certain colleges. Regardless of the college within which you are registered, you as a postgraduate student at UNISA will have opportunities to contribute to any of the catalytic niche areas to which you can, via these expansive conceptualizations, articulate points of alignment. Now, the College of Graduate Studies has created these CGS-facilitated catalytic niche area working groups as a core component of our optimization support interventions. These CGS-facilitated catalytic niche area working groups meet quarterly, and that, of course, ensures that we maintain momentum in all of the catalytic niche areas. The working groups were designed to specifically seek multi-level participation, where our postgraduate students share a space with very high-profile established catalytic niche area researchers. These working groups ensure multidisciplinary engagement with each of the catalytic niche areas, and this really enriches these engagements, and it ensures that the catalytic niche area responses are scholarly, comprehensive, rich, rigorous, and robust. The working groups offer a space where you as postgraduate students can come and share ideas with other postgraduate students and with researchers with whom you may not otherwise come into contact. So it's really an opportunity where you can get out of disciplinary silos, pool resources, and also generate collaboration opportunities to maximize catalytic niche area optimization. So in the next couple of slides, we offer an overview of the 2025 CGS Facilitated Catalytic Niche Area Working Group Program. Series 1 happened in March 2025, but we're sharing this with you because if you are interested in joining these working groups, you will have access to the recordings and the resources that emerged from this first series of 10 sessions as well. So the sub-theme for this first series was revisiting catalytic niche area relevance and responsiveness with a 2025 catalytic niche area needs assessment. Series 2 is coming up in June, and the sub-theme there is catalytic niche area intersections and interdependencies, with a specific focus on mobilizing the power and potential of multi, inter, and transdisciplinary engagements. Series 3, I'm giving a bit more information about because I think this is potentially especially relevant to our postgraduate students. The sub-theme there is catalytic niche area sustainability, skills transfer, and amplifying emerging scholarly voices. And in this series, we will offer an opportunity for emerging scholars, and that includes postgraduate students, to share their catalytic niche area research. We will be creating their platform at the College of Graduate Studies level for early career researchers to present work at institutional level in a safe, supportive, and nurturing space where you'll be able to benefit from feedback and reflections of a range of scholars, many of whom will be at more senior levels, including but not limited to some of our distinguished professors who very often attend these working group sessions. And of course, this is a very important part of our commitment to intellectual mentoring, capacity development, and skills transfer that again then feeds into the long-term sustainability of UNISA's catalytic niche area work. Then finally, our fourth 2025 series will be structured around the theme of consolidating UNISA's institutional level catalytic niche area responses. And again, in keeping with a scaffold approach, the preceding 3 series will all lead very neatly into this final 2025 series. If you are interested in joining one or more of these catalytic niche area working groups, you are very welcome welcome to email Professor Murray at the email address on the screen, and we will add you to the mailing list. We are also very committed in terms of the catalytic niche area work we are doing to the creation of epistemic communities of catalytic niche area practice at UNISA. And again, this is a very potentially useful resource for supervisors and postgraduate students. On the slide is an extract from an article by Kumar and Lee, where they talk about how the educational trajectory for producing students who are able in various ways to flourish in academic careers, how that trajectory is really served by giving opportunities to scholars to form part of a larger community within their disciplines. So we have operationalized the implementation of epistemic communities of catalytic niche area practice at UNISA in various ways, where you as postgraduate students can opt in and develop your own catalytic niche area skills and expertise. The core component I've already mentioned, it's the CGS facilitated catalytic niche area working groups, and you're welcome to opt into that. The second one is the Science Open CGS Catalytic Niche Area Super Collection plus 10 sub-collections. And this is something that our postgraduate students can use very meaningfully to explore things like potential points of alignment between their research topics and the catalytic niche areas. But there are many other uses, such as potentially using it as a literature review resource, exploring different ways of conceptualizing the catalytic niche areas, and many other things that you can mobilize in service of your own catalytic niche area engagements. In the next couple of slides, I'm going to very briefly share some examples of how you can go about expansively conceptualizing some of these catalytic niche areas. So I've selected just specific catalytic niche areas, but this is really an intellectual exercise of conceptualization that you can engage with any of the catalytic niche areas. And it's really about ensuring that you understand that there are multidisciplinary avenues of navigating your way into a catalytic niche area, if that is something you wish to do. So with marine studies, for example, it is in the contemporary literature around the disciplinary field conceptualized as very much an interdisciplinary research area. So it is a potential area that you can access with a focus on things like policy formation, resource management, conservation. Obviously, natural and physical scientists have ways of accessing this catalytic niche area, but you can focus within this catalytic niche area on very important contemporary issues such as the environment, and there's ample opportunity for social science and humanities scholars to contribute as well. This slide lists some possible topics that can fit very nicely into marine studies as a catalytic niche area, but that you might not immediately have associated with this. So things like social justice in coastal spaces, understanding historical and ongoing impacts of traditional ecological knowledge, coastal community development, things like maritime history and culture, literatures of the sea, they are all potentially relevant. Another catalytic niche area that people can navigate into in very exciting but not necessarily immediately obvious ways is aviation and aeronautical studies. Again, this extract on the slide positions aviation very explicitly as a multidisciplinary subject, and and the extract lists some of the many potential topics within this catalytic niche area, such as earth science, aeronautical engineering, language, aviation communication, airmanship, higher education of aviation and non-aviation graduates, for example. Topics such as aviation psychology, the sociology of drones, intersections of health in aviation, gendered analyses of aviation, the things around air travel, climate change and literature, socioeconomic impacts of airport expansions in local communities, aviation diplomacy and international relations, aviation law. Those are just some of the possible topics that can be covered within a catalytic niche area like aviation and aeronautical studies. So really, the point of some of these examples was to ensure that you understand that the potential of UNISA's catalytic niche areas to enrich your own postgraduate experience is limited only by your imagination. There's a great deal of support for you to explore potential points of alignment between your areas of interest and the catalytic niche areas. And if you have any catalytic niche area questions, support, or assistance needs, you are very welcome to visit the link on the slide that's on the screen now. Thank you very much for making the time to listen to this presentation about UNISA's catalytic niche areas. We are confident that you'll find ways to align your areas of research interests with one or more of these catalytic niche areas, and we really hope that you can make use of some of the very exciting opportunities these niche areas present to you. As our institutional level response to these catalytic niche areas take shape, we very much want you as our postgraduate students to contribute to that response. And I hope that this presentation has offered you some of the tools you'll need to make that happen. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Pindima Semula from the Postgraduate Administration Department at the College of Graduate Studies. Today, I'll be guiding you through our master's and doctoral application process, admission requirements, and timelines. You will get an opportunity to ask questions at the end of the session. I will now switch off my camera and proceed with the presentation. Thank you. I will now start with my presentation. Our applications opened on the 2nd of September and will close on the 21st of November. This is for the 2025 intake. There are exceptions. This means there are qualifications that will remain open after the 21st of November. There's a list of all these qualifications on our website. They will open until the 30th of June in 2026. We also have selection degrees. These are qualifications that have different application dates. The Master of Arts in Clinical Psychology opens on the 2nd and closes on the 22nd of May every year. The Master of Commerce in Industrial and Organizational Psychology coursework also has different application dates. It opened mid-August and closed in mid-September. So students can no longer apply for this one as it is closed already. Please refer your inquiries to mnd@unisa.ac.za. All the staff members at the Postgraduate Administration Department have access to this email account. UNISA offers two types of master's qualifications. We have a coursework master's degree as well as a full research master's degree. The curriculum for our coursework master's degree consists of 4 modules, a research proposal module, as well as a mini dissertation. Students must pass 2 modules before they will be allowed to register for the research proposal module. We do have a coursework master's degree at the College of Science, Engineering and Technology. That is the Master of Science in Information Technology Management. The curriculum for this master's is slightly different from the other coursework masters because it consists of 4 modules and a mini dissertation. So there's no proposal module. Students must pass 3 modules to be allowed to register for the mini dissertation. For the coursework master's degree, students are given 3 years to complete the qualification. We also have a full dissertation master's degree, which consists of the dissertation that incorporates the research proposal module that must be completed in the first year of study. Students are given a maximum of 3 years to complete the qualification. However, it may be completed in the first year of study. For our doctoral qualifications, the curriculum consists of a thesis that incorporates a research proposal module that must be completed in the first year of study, the viva voce, that is your oral examination, as well as 2 manuscripts. Once you've been admitted, you may discuss with your supervisor and opt to do the doctoral degree by publication. It also consists of the viva voce, that is the oral examination, and 2 manuscripts. Doctoral students are given a maximum of 6 years to complete the degree. However, it may be completed in 2 years. So students may submit for examination after having been registered for 2 years. Now, to our international students, if you are applying with a qualification that was obtained outside the borders of South Africa, you must apply to have your qualification evaluated by the South African Qualifications Authority. You need to submit all your qualifications to SAQA and pay their fee, or you can submit one qualification that will give you admission to the qualification you want to apply for at UNISA. When applying on our application platform, you will be required to provide the SAQA reference number. We can make follow-ups at the SAQA offices using the reference number that you provided when applying online. Important to note is that you may register, if approved, without the SAQA certificate, but you need to make sure that you submit the SAQA certificate before re-registration for the next year or the second year of study. Failure to submit the SAQA certificate will result in you having your registration or your studies cancelled. Let's have a look at the required NQF levels. If you're applying for a master's degree that is at NQF level 9, you must be in possession of an NQF level 8 qualification. If you are applying for a doctoral degree that is at NQF level 10, you must be in possession of an NQF level 9 qualification. Before applying for admission, please explore our website to get familiar with our application process. We've compiled comprehensive information and guidelines to help you navigate your application smoothly. Please refer to the left navigation menu on our site. So this also speaks to the previous slide. When you go to our website, you will be able to see the list of all the qualifications that are offered by UNISA, as well as the admission requirements. Now, this is important. You need to check the focus areas as provided by departments. So what this means is that they're provided there to be an indication of the availability of supervisors within the departments with expertise in this specific field. So you need to make sure that you align your research outline with at least one of the focus areas, because this will increase your chances of getting admitted. This is also important. The research outline, it must be at least 5 pages long. You will see the guidelines as well on our website on how to prepare the research outline. Again, if you're applying for an LLM, the Master of Business Administration, Master of Business Leadership, Master of Commerce in Industrial and Organizational Psychology by coursework qualification, you may not submit the research outline. For the Master of Science in Information Technology Management, I mentioned it previously. It is a coursework master's offered by the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. Though it is a coursework, you must submit the research outline, but this will be shown on the admission requirements online. Please note, for the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology programs, prospective students must first contact the department. Please find potential supervisors and their contact details in the focus areas document. Identify a supervisor whose research area aligns with your study, and if they have capacity, they'll confirm your suitability and provide you with a letter of support. This letter will be on the UNISA letterhead and will be signed by the supervisor. You will then need to submit this letter with your application, as it is part of the mandatory application documents for students applying for qualifications in CSET. Now we're going to zoom in on the mandatory application documents that are required. We have the academic record, a copy of your ID, valid passport document or your birth certificate, the research outline, if applicable, as well as the SAQA certificate of evaluation for students who hold qualifications from outside the borders of South Africa. So I just quickly want to zoom in on the academic record. There is information that must be contained on your academic record. Firstly, the names on your academic record must correspond with the names on your ID or your passport. The academic record must indicate completion of the qualification. Your academic record must be official. It must not be a copy that was downloaded from the student portal. It must be official. It must bear the stamp of the institution. And then, yes, I've also mentioned that the names must correspond. It must also show percentages obtained. So if it's different, it doesn't show the percentages obtained, please provide us with the grading scale of your previous institution. You must also provide a CV where applicable. So I've covered the departmental letter in my previous slide. Now, the application documents. So you've now applied for admission. The next step is to submit all the supporting documents. As indicated by the N in red, these are documents that have not been submitted. Once you apply for admission, you will now be required to submit the documents. So this is where you're going to land. For example, if you have to upload your CV, you need to choose the file, upload the CV. All the uploaded files will show on the uploaded files column on my far right. So if you've uploaded them successfully, the submit document and continue tab will not be grayed out. You see now it is grayed out. So if all the documents have been submitted, you will be able to move on, continue and submit your application. So it will be complete and then will be checked by the relevant advisor and then referred to the academic department. Our application process. If you've never studied with UNISA before, you need to apply for a student number first. There's an application fee that is non-refundable that must be paid. It is 150 Rand. The second step is applying for admission, right? So you need to apply for a student number, use that student number to apply for admission. And then the third step, you need to upload the supporting documents. If you've studied with UNISA before and you were enrolled for a formal qualification, not a short course qualification, if you've enrolled for a formal qualification, you will use that student number to apply for admission and then upload all the supporting documents. Once you've completed your application, you will be able to track it on our website. This is shown on the left navigation menu. Once you've applied, I've mentioned before that if you do not submit the supporting documents, your application will be rendered as incomplete. So it will not be processed. So you will need to submit the documents for your application to be complete. The application is complete, it will be referred to the relevant academic department, and you will receive confirmation via your email, the email that you provided when you were applying online. Most selections take place in January and February. The letter that is sent to you, once we refer your application to the relevant department, you will receive communication. Information will be written there, such as when to expect the outcome of your application. So we do ask that you be patient. More selections take place in January, February next year. For registration will open in the second week of January and close on the 31st of March. So you will have enough time to be able to register. So don't panic. If your application is not approved, UNISA will provide you with the reason. And if your application is approved, you will receive the name and contact details of your supervisor. If you've studied with UNISA before, you will receive correspondence from UNISA on your MyLife email account. If you've never studied with UNISA before, we will communicate with you using the email address you provided when you were applying. If it has changed, please don't forget to inform us via mnd@unisa.ac.za. You are encouraged to check your emails regularly. So now you've applied for admission and you've received approval. You've been admitted to a qualification. What do you do next? I've indicated that our registration will open in the second week of January and close on the 31st of March next year. We also have a podcast available that will guide you through the application process as well as the registration process. Now, as soon as you get the admission letter, you need to go online and register. Your registration will be active as soon as you pay the minimum registration fee. It is payable in installments. But when you pay the first installment, it will be shown once you've done the registration. You will see it displayed. You will also get email communication with that information. So you will pay that amount and be actively registered. Please note, if you've never studied with UNISA before and you used your personal email account when applying for admission, as soon as you pay the money for your registration and your registration is active, your personal email address is not going to work. You need to go and claim your MyLife email account to have access to My UNISA. And once you've registered, you will then contact your supervisor, as we would have given you a supervisor when you got admitted. You will contact your supervisor and start working. It is important to also read the procedures for master's and doctoral degrees. Please note that you must re-register and pay the fees every year until you complete your studies. It's not a once-off payment. Registration is not a once-off payment. So every year you are required to re-register for that particular academic year and pay the fees in full for that year. Remember, they're payable in installments, but every year you must pay the fees. What happens if your application is not approved? UNISA will provide you with the reason. For example, it could be that you are applying for a master's degree and you hold a postgraduate diploma that does not have the research methodology module at NPF level 8. If that's the case, your application may be declined and non-degree purpose modules recommended. Another reason could be that you do not meet the 60% average requirement. In this case, You may explore the alternative pathway, that is the recognition of prior learning, only if you qualify. You may also get declined provided your SAQA NQF level is lower than the required level. In this case, again, you may explore the alternative pathway, apply via RPL only if you qualify. Again, to students that hold qualifications obtained outside the borders of South Africa, remember you are allowed to register for the first year of study without the SAQA certificate, but you need to provide us with this certificate for you to be able to re-register for the second year of study. As soon as you receive this, please upload it online if application is still open. But if application is closed, you can email the SAQA evaluation certificate to mnd@unisa.ac.za. The advisor will then check whether the NQF level is in order. If everything is in order, this will be confirmed and you will get an email with this confirmation. If not, for example, if the NQF level is lower than the required NQF level, your registration will be administratively cancelled and we will refer you to apply via RPL. Also note that there are exceptions here. If RPL approves your application, your studies will be reinstated. Please also note that UNISA has a bursary section for master's and doctoral students. This is administered by our finance division. Applications for the bursary opened on the 15th of October and will close on the 19th of December 2025. The bursary is available from the second year of study. So if you are applying for the first time, you are not eligible for the bursary next year. You will only be eligible for the second year of study, which will be for your 2027 year of study. Please refer to the website for more information. I've also provided a link for your convenience. And please note that you must apply every year for this bursary. If successful, you need to apply every year. It's not a once-off application. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you for your interest in our programs, and we wish you success in your academic pursuit.
Welcome to the African Academic Student Development Program. My name is Professor Tennyson Mukuchini. I'm the Executive Dean of the College of Graduate Studies. This is a state-of-the-art program that has been designed to support our postgraduate students with developing their research excellence, primarily in terms of improving their acumen when it comes to developing specific research skills around research methodology, around articulation of research problems, around a number of activities that we expect students to be engaged in. And those activities we sometimes refer to as high order research competencies, like writing for publication, like applying for grants. This project is designed as a 12-month-long offering, which basically walks the student through every element of their postgraduate journey, from the development and conceptualization of their research problem to writing a literature review in support of the identified research problem, to developing appropriate data collection approaches, to collecting data, to analyzing that data, to disseminating the findings of their studies so that they can share their discoveries with society and give an opportunity for their research to find expression within some of society's biggest problems. This is an exceptional program in that it offers a very unique set of support mechanisms for students. Students are given access to experts in research in 3 different ways. Firstly, through traditional didactic lectures The traditional lectures that you would experience in a classroom are offered to walk you through some of the critical areas and competencies that we know students need to develop. Secondly, we have what we call blast sessions, and these sessions are much smaller group formats that are designed to deal with some of the challenges that students have typically found that they struggle with. Things that are not part of the research competency matrix, but are requirements nonetheless. For example, we have blast sessions that look at debative writing, argumentation, how to write in a scholarly voice. And then finally, the third modality that this program operates in is that we have one-to-one support sessions. So if any of you students have very specific individual challenges that you believe could benefit from a critical reader, from a critical commentator who can look at your work and review what you've done and offer some guidance in addition to the supervisory support, then this program is for you. It is a compulsory program for all our master's and doctoral students, but as an acknowledgement of the fact that honors students expect to do master's work, we offer it as an exceptional opt-in program that honors students can undertake if they so wish. I hope that you find this an exciting program, one that will change your research trajectory significantly. I thank you for this. Welcome.
Greetings to our prospective postgraduate student. I am Dr. Tony Nelson Majila, and I am a research training officer in the School of Interdisciplinary Research and Graduate Studies in the College of Graduate Studies. So my role in the college includes coordinating research training workshops, including that of postgraduate students as well as supervisors. And today I am going to share with you the research support that is available in the college to ensure that you succeed as a prospective student. We have postgraduate research training program, and this is hosted by the two schools. The postgraduate research training program hosted by the School of Interdisciplinary Research and Graduate Studies, as well as the African Academic Student Development Program hosted by the School of Transdisciplinary Research and Graduate Studies. And these are the support interventions for postgraduate students for honors, postgraduate diploma, masters, as well as PhD. These interventions start during the application period. So when you apply, there is a research outline document that you need to populate, which form part of the application process. This is like a mini proposal where you need to outline your research problem, the significance of your research, as well as the methodologies. And there is a lot of support on this process. After you have registered, we support you throughout your proposal phase, as well as the dissertation and the thesis phase. Now, this is part of the scope of what we are offering. We have a dedicated librarian who does training on the databases as well as reference managers, your RefWorks, and the Mendeley. We also take you through the theories, theoretical framework, and conceptual framework, and show you how they are aligned to your research aims and objectives. We also have literature review training workshops, the methodologies from your philosophical foundations, population and sampling strategies, data collection tools and techniques, as well as the ethics part. We also have academic writing skills workshop and symposium. And this year we have started to do some workshops on the AI tools to help you with your writing. We also have a dedicated statistician in the College of Graduate Studies, And one of the interventions in that office relates to the questionnaire development, the hypothesis development, and testing. For those who are doing qualitative studies, we help you to develop the codes, code categories, and the themes as part of your data analysis. And as a registered student, you have access to free softwares, SPSS, Amos, and Atlas TI for free. You'll also have access to similarity software at UNISA. We are using Turnitin, and this is integrated into the learning management system, my UNISA, hosted on the Moodle platform. This is a software where you can have similarity reports and indexes and so forth. Now, on the support platforms, we are using online workshops through Microsoft MS Teams. And as a registered student, you get all Office 365 programs. We also do working sessions as well as the workshops. At times, we have face-to-face at the regional office. And for big events, we do host hybrid. We also have close group on Facebook for honors as well as MND. And for all our workshops, we do record and edit them and host them on our college YouTube channel. And I have provided a link for you to access them. And this is our emails for the honors as well as the MND where you can contact us. We are wishing you all the best with your application. Thank you.